There's something trembling in the atmosphere around you right now. Can you feel it? The clocks are ticking louder than ever, and heaven is moving swiftly. You have exactly 24 hours, not a second more, not a second less. Something divine is about to break through the veil. This is not just another day, this is a spiritual countdown. And you, yes, you are not watching this by accident. You're the one God has marked, the chosen one. You've been hearing whispers in your spirit that you can't explain. Restless dreams, divine interruptions, signs that only your soul seems to understand. That's because something holy is approaching your life with divine urgency, and heaven is making sure you don't miss it. You've always sensed you were different. You tried to blend in, didn't you? You tried to silence your inner knowing. You doubted your light. But no matter how much you shrank yourself, the divine in you kept rising. People misunderstood your heart, questioned your motives, doubted your purpose, but that wasn't your fault. It was their blindness, not your brightness. You were never made to fit in. You were made to shake spiritual realms, to walk with sacred fire, to deliver light into places filled with shadows. This is why the warfare in your life has been so intense. This is why the betrayals cut deeper than most. God wasn't punishing you. He was preparing you. Every tear you cried in secret, heaven recorded. Every time you chose love instead of revenge, God smiled, because he knew your hour was coming. And now, it's here. The Spirit says, in the next 24 hours, your atmosphere is shifting, but it's not going to be comfortable. Transformation rarely is. You may feel a strange heaviness in your chest, like something is pressing on your soul. That's not fear. That's the weight of glory beginning to descend. You may feel suddenly tired, as if something invisible is draining you. That's because your body is being recalibrated for the next spiritual level. You are shedding old frequencies, breaking old agreements, and making room for the divine strategy heaven is downloading into you. Don't resist it. Don't question it. Just yield. Chosen one, this is not the time to scroll mindlessly, to numb yourself with distractions, or to silence your intuition with logic. This is the time to turn inward, to become still and listen. Can you hear the spiritual alarm that's ringing? It's not meant to scare you. It's meant to awaken you, because what's coming will require your full attention, your full obedience, and your full surrender. Something divine is coming to confront everything that's been sent to destroy you. You've lived through seasons where everything felt like it was collapsing. Relationships failed, finances dried up, health waned, your peace was stolen. People turned on you, sometimes the very ones you loved the most. You prayed and waited, you sowed and served, yet the heavens felt silent. You thought God forgot you, but he didn't. He was just building the stage for your elevation. And now, heaven is whispering, get ready. You're standing on the edge of divine intervention. In the next 24 hours, something is going to click in your spirit. It may be a dream, a divine appointment, a sudden urge to go somewhere or speak something. It may be a release, a revelation, or a radical decision that sets everything in motion. Don't hesitate. Move with heaven's rhythm. Heaven doesn't work by earthly calendars. God doesn't consult clocks. But when he sets a divine window, everything changes in an instant. One touch, one shift, one spoken word, and what took years to destroy can be rebuilt in minutes. You have been walking through this life carrying wounds no one else sees, smiling when you were bleeding, encouraging others while you were silently breaking. But that silent endurance has been your offering. God has seen your sacrifice. The late nights, the early mornings, the moments you almost gave up but didn't, the silent screams, the spiritual fatigue, the invisible bruises. He saw it all. And now heaven has said, enough. Your reward is near, not because you earned it through perfection, but because you stayed faithful through the fire. Don't be surprised if people around you suddenly feel uncomfortable. Don't be surprised if old relationships break without reason, or opportunities seem to dry up just before the breakthrough. That's not punishment. That's purification. God is removing what can't go with you to your next level. He's stripping away what would contaminate the divine strategy being delivered to your life. You're being repositioned, not rejected. You're being protected, not punished, because what's coming carries weight, and not everyone around you was prepared to handle that. There's a divine pressure building in the spirit, and when it releases, something is going to break open over your life. It might not look how you expect. It may come in a form that first feels like loss, but it will be divine. God never subtracts without a plan to multiply. He never allows what you lose without preparing what you're about to gain. But this isn't about comfort. This is about your calling. And your calling, chosen one, is sacred. You didn't come here just to survive. You didn't endure the storm just to tell the story. You came to transform the very ground you walk on. You are the breaker of curses, the restorer of bloodlines, the light bearer in a generation lost in noise. And that's why you feel so deeply. That's why you've always felt things before they happened. That's why you were attacked, isolated, silenced, not because you were weak, but because you are divinely dangerous to darkness. This 24-hour window is holy. It is marked by angels. The wind is whispering, the fire is kindling, and the water is stirring. Don't miss it. Don't waste it. God is sending a sign, a shift, a divine messenger, but you must be spiritually awake. Let go of the old questions. Let go of the why and the who and the how. Just position yourself in trust. Align with heaven and watch what happens. This is your moment. This is your hour, and you are ready. You are rising. You are chosen. You've walked through deserts no one else could survive. You've endured spiritual droughts, where even your prayers felt dry, where every step forward seemed to pull the ground beneath your feet further away. You've been in battles where you didn't just lose things, you lost parts of yourself, pieces of your joy, pieces of your identity, pieces of your hope. And yet somehow you kept going, bruised but breathing, wounded but worshiping, tired but trusting. That, chosen one, is the mark of a warrior, not of this world, but of divine origin. The battles you've faced weren't random. They were intentional assignments from darkness sent to interrupt your divine timeline, to delay your destiny, to confuse your path. But what the enemy didn't calculate was how unbreakable your spirit would become. Every attack only refined you. Every betrayal only purified you. And every setback became a stepping stone. You didn't just survive, you transmuted pain into purpose. You turned confusion into clarity. And even in your lowest moments, your spirit whispered, "I was made for more." You've been surrounded by wolves in sheep's clothing, smiles that hid swords, friendships that were actually spiritual traps. And every time your heart broke, you wondered why it hurt so deeply. But it was never just about relationships. It was spiritual warfare. The enemy wasn't attacking your emotions. He was targeting your anointing. Because deep down he knew that once you activated your divine identity, nothing could stop the light inside you from breaking through the darkness around you. God has seen it all. Not one tear fell unnoticed. Not one moment of exhaustion, of frustration, of questioning went unseen. Heaven has been watching you quietly, patiently, intentionally, because the battle was the test. The storm was the proving ground. And now the heavens are shifting. There is divine movement in the unseen. The angels assigned to your destiny have been released, and they are clearing the path ahead. Your enemies thought they had time. They thought you'd stay down. They laughed when you were weak. They mocked your prayers. But now, they're trembling, because something has changed in the spirit. You've shifted dimensions. Your name has been echoed in the courts of heaven. You've been announced in realms your enemies cannot access. And now the divine tables are turning. The very mouths that cursed you will be silenced. The very hands that hurt you will witness your elevation. And the very situations sent to break you will be the platforms where God will bless you. You didn't get here by accident. This was orchestrated. Every delay, every detour, every closed door Heaven wasn't denying you, it was protecting what you couldn't yet see. You wanted quick answers, but God was building deep roots. Because what's coming in the next chapter of your life requires a foundation that no storm can destroy. You had to learn how to fight spiritually. You had to learn discernment. You had to learn silence. Because silence, chosen one, is not weakness, it's wisdom. And while others were loud with their opinions, you were quiet in your obedience. That quiet obedience is what heaven is honoring now. The spiritual war you've been in wasn't just about your present. It was about your future, your bloodline, your calling, the mantle you carry. And make no mistake, it is a heavy mantle. Not everyone could carry it, not everyone should. But you were chosen because God knew you'd endure. Not perfectly, but faithfully. You made mistakes, yes. You doubted, yes. But you kept showing up. You kept walking, even when it made no sense, even when it cost you everything. Now your enemies are sensing the shift. They may not understand it in the natural, but their spirits are stirred. That's why the warfare suddenly increased. That's why old attacks tried to resurface. That's why confusion tried to find its way back into your life. Because the closer you get to the divine moment, the more the enemy tries to distract and derail you. But it's too late now. The momentum is heavenly. And what has been set in motion cannot be stopped by human hands or demonic forces. You are about to rise, and it won't be subtle. It will be public. It will be prophetic. It will be undeniable. People will look and wonder how you made it, how you survived, how you kept your peace, how you held your integrity when you had every reason to lose it. And your only answer will be God. Because it wasn't your strength, it wasn't your strategy, it was divine preservation. It was favor in the fire, grace in the grief, and purpose in the pain. This is your divine hour. It is thick with prophecy. And even if you can't see it yet, something deep within you already knows. Your spirit is responding before your eyes can confirm it. You've been through the wilderness long enough. The divine clock has struck, and now the shift is irreversible. But you must not let fear creep in during these final moments before breakthrough. Fear is always the last weapon the enemy uses before you walk through the door. He whispers lies. You're not ready. It's too late. It's all in your head. But those voices are fading echoes of a past that no longer has permission to speak. The voice of God is louder now, and it's saying, prepare yourself. The promise is approaching. You were chosen not because you were perfect, but because you were willing. God looked into your heart and saw a light that refused to go out. Even when the world tried to snuff it out, you guarded it. That light is your divine fire. It cannot be extinguished. It cannot be replicated. And now it will become a beacon for others to follow. You will become a living testimony, a walking miracle, a sign that God still moves, still speaks, and still lifts his people in the most impossible ways. Chosen one, everything that once broke you is about to bow to the version of you that heaven is unveiling. This is not a coincidence. This is not a test. This is a spiritual awakening disguised as a moment in time, and you, whether you feel ready or not, are the vessel through which it will be revealed. What happens next is not just about you. It's about those who will be set free because of your obedience. It's about the generations that will be healed because you chose to rise. It's about the ripple effect of your yes to God. And it's already begun. It's already begun, and now God is stepping onto the stage of your life. Not quietly, but with divine thunder. There are moments when the heavens no longer whisper. There are moments when the divine makes a declaration. This is that moment. You've waited long enough. You've cried long enough. You've watched others be elevated while you sat in the shadows, wondering when your time would come. The Lord says, the wait is over. The time is now. What's been spoken over your life is about to manifest in ways that make no sense to the natural mind, but will make perfect sense to your soul. You're about to witness divine justice, not just personally, but publicly. Those who laughed at your faith are about to see its fruit. Those who mocked your silence are about to hear your roar. Those who used your vulnerability as a weapon are about to witness your vindication. Because when God moves, He doesn't come quietly. He comes with proof, and He comes with reversal. Everything they tried to steal from you, your confidence, your peace, your purpose, is being returned, but not just as it was. Heaven never returns things the same. God restores with increase, with multiplication, with glory. The same people who questioned how you kept standing will now question how you suddenly began to soar, and you won't even have to explain yourself. The fruit will speak louder than your words ever could. This is what divine reversal looks like. The ones who pushed you down will have to watch you rise. The ones who spoke curses over your life will watch God bless you in front of them. The same table where you were rejected will become the table where your name is honored, not because you fought for validation, but because you chose to stay aligned with heaven when everything around you tried to pull you into the flesh. There's a kind of strength that doesn't look like strength to the world. It looks like quiet endurance. It looks like choosing peace when revenge would be easier. It looks like praying for your enemies when your heart is still bleeding. And yet this is the strength God rewards. This is the spiritual might that carries eternal weight. And this is what you've been walking in, whether you realized it or not. Now God is ready to make the unseen seen. What He has been doing in secret, healing your soul, rewiring your mind, strengthening your spirit, will soon be visible in every area of your life. You will no longer have to convince people that you are chosen. They will feel it in your presence. They will sense it in your words. They will see it in your transformation. But hear this and hear it deeply. This next move of God is not about proving yourself to anyone. It's not about validation or applause. It's about fulfillment. Fulfillment of the promises whispered in the dark. Fulfillment of the visions you held on to when all you had was faith. Fulfillment of your soul's deepest assignment. That's what's at stake. That's what's coming. And that's why the enemy fought so hard to keep you distracted. Because when a chosen one becomes aware of their authority, kingdoms tremble. Spiritual systems shift, chains break without a sound, and the divine order begins to reestablish itself in the physical realm. This is not poetic language, it's prophetic reality, and your very life is becoming a living prophecy. Don't shrink now, don't back down. This is the final stretch of the spiritual labor you've been enduring. For years, you've been carrying divine vision inside you. You've felt the weight of it in your spirit, even when your circumstances didn't reflect it. You've been pregnant with destiny, walking carefully, protecting what others couldn't even see. But now the labor pains are intensifying, and that means delivery is near. The groaning in your soul is not weakness, it's the birthing cry. The discomfort in your mind, the pressure in your atmosphere, the weariness that seems to come from nowhere, it's all evidence that the time is here. The blessing isn't coming, it's arriving right now, and you only have 24 hours to align yourself, to center yourself, to stand in full agreement with heaven and say, "Yes, Lord, let it be done." Look around you. Even the natural world confirms the spiritual. You've seen things shifting in strange ways, divine interruptions, sudden stops, unexpected reroutes. You've had dreams that feel too real to ignore. You've sensed something massive approaching, like thunder building in the distance of your life. That's not imagination, that's revelation. This is your divine reversal, and it won't come through ordinary means. Don't look to the usual doors. Don't expect familiar faces. This will be a holy surprise, a supernatural fulfillment, an outcome that only heaven could orchestrate. And when it happens, you will know it was God, not luck, not coincidence, but divine intervention. The very things they said disqualified you are the things heaven will use to elevate you. The pain you thought disqualified your purpose was actually the evidence of it. The betrayal you suffered wasn't the end of your story. It was the turning point, because the ones who hurt you only accelerated your timeline. The rejection you faced was really divine redirection. And every unanswered prayer wasn't a denial. It was a setup for something greater. You were hidden, not forgotten, protected, not punished. God hid you because you were still in process. He wasn't withholding blessings. He was preparing you to sustain them. What's coming isn't just a moment. It's a movement. You're not just stepping into a blessing. You're stepping into a divine blueprint, one that was written before you were even formed in your mother's womb. So breathe, center yourself. This is holy ground. The winds are shifting. The gates are opening. The blessings you've been praying for are not lost. They are arriving on schedule, and all of heaven is echoing one word over your life: now. Now is the time to walk in boldness. Now is the time to stop explaining yourself to people who don't have the spiritual capacity to understand you. Now is the time to release the shame, the regret, the guilt, and wear your calling with confidence. Now is the time to step forward as the chosen one you truly are. God is about to reward your faith with favor. Not because you earned it, but because you endured. You trusted through the tears. You praised through the pain. You didn't let the storm silence your song. And now the same God who walked with you through the valley is about to elevate you on the mountaintop. Chosen one, your victory is here. The divine shift has already begun. All you need to do is receive it. Breathe it in. Let it settle into your bones. Let it transform your very posture. Walk into rooms like the doors were built for you, because spiritually they were. Heaven designed this moment, and the next 24 hours will reveal it. You've felt it in your bones for years now. This pull, this tension between who you used to be and who your soul is calling you to become. But what you may not have fully understood is why the battles have been so targeted, why the attacks have been so personal, and why it always seemed like the opposition knew exactly where to strike. That's not coincidence. That's spiritual strategy. Because when you are chosen, when you carry divine power inside you, the enemy doesn't attack you for who you are. He attacks you for who you're becoming. Let's go deeper, because it's time you truly understand the mechanics of the spiritual war you've been fighting. The pain you've faced didn't come out of nowhere. It was provoked by your light. There is something about you that threatens darkness simply by existing. Your voice, your presence, your very essence disrupts unclean systems and unsettles spirits that operate in the shadows. You don't need to do anything loud to be dangerous. You just need to be aligned. And every time you align with God's will, the forces that have operated in secrecy start to lose their ground. This is why people you loved turned against you without cause. Why relationships ended in betrayal. Why doors closed after you prayed for them to open. It wasn't because you were cursed. It was because you were covered. God was exposing the hidden hearts of people who couldn't go where you're going. Not everyone attached to your past was meant to experience your future, and rather than let them sabotage your destiny later, He revealed them now. But that's painful, isn't it? To watch people walk away, to feel abandoned when all you did was love. Yet this is where divine paradox comes into play. In God's kingdom, loss is often the beginning of gain. Rejection is redirection. Pain is often preparation in disguise. When God begins to elevate you, He allows the shaking to begin, not to harm you, but to remove everything that cannot hold what's coming. And that includes people, mindsets, habits, environments, even versions of you that can no longer survive on the next level. You've been asking why. Why so much heartbreak? Why so many delays? Why the constant resistance? But the answer lies not in your failure, but in your favor. Because what you carry is sacred, and anything sacred must be protected even from you. Had God answered your prayers when you wanted Him to, you might have built on unstable ground. You might have trusted the wrong people with the right destiny. So He slowed the process to purify the purpose. He shielded you from premature exposure. He allowed you to experience discomfort so that when the breakthrough finally arrives, you'll be strong enough to hold it. This is not punishment, it's refinement. and refinement always happens in fire. But here's something the enemy hoped you'd never realize. The fire didn't destroy you, it revealed you. It exposed the gold buried under years of self-doubt. It burned off the false identities others placed on you. It removed the layers of people-pleasing and fear and insecurity that had nothing to do with who you really are. What you thought was breaking you was actually birthing you, the real you, the version of you that was buried under generational trauma, under limiting beliefs, under spiritual attack. That version, the chosen one, is now rising. And as you rise, you begin to see things differently. You start to understand that the battle was never just personal, it was generational. You were chosen to break patterns that ran through your family for decades, to end cycles of fear, poverty, sickness, betrayal, spiritual blindness. The resistance didn't start with you, but the healing will. You are the interruption in a dark lineage, the curse breaker, the divine restart. And this is why the pressure has been unlike anything you've seen. Because you weren't just fighting for your life, you've been fighting for every soul connected to your obedience. That's what most people don't understand. They only see your outward life, the delays, the losses, the struggles, but they don't see what's happening inside your spirit. They don't know the weight you've been carrying silently. They can't see the spiritual forces you've been warring against in your sleep. They have no idea what it takes for you to show up, to keep believing, to keep standing. But God sees, and heaven is not unjust. The reward coming to you is not compensation, it's alignment. What belongs to you is about to find you, and it will come by no one's hand but God's. So let's go even deeper. Why were you attacked so early in life? Why did pain seem to find you even as a child? Why did fear, shame, rejection, and trauma embed themselves in your soul before you even had language for it? Because the enemy saw the mark on you. Even before you were fully formed, you were already known in the Spirit. You were already anointed, and if he couldn't destroy you, he wanted to damage your perception of yourself. So you'd spend your life running from your own power. But here you are, not just alive, but awakening. And you're beginning to realize that the very things you thought disqualified you are the things that actually anointed you. Your wounds carry wisdom. Your tears have baptized your strength. Your brokenness is the birthplace of divine empathy. You're not rising in arrogance, you're rising in awareness, and that makes you unstoppable. Chosen one, this 24-hour divine window isn't just about a miracle falling from the sky. It's about you stepping into full spiritual maturity. It's about understanding the war you've been in, owning your identity, and choosing to rise anyway. The trauma doesn't define you. The fear doesn't own you. The delay hasn't robbed you. If anything, it's positioned you more powerfully than ever before. You are not behind. You are not lost. You are not forgotten. You are right on divine time. And this, right now, is the hour to remember who you are. Not who they told you you were. Not who your past shaped you to be, but who God designed you to be. You are royalty in a realm most people deny even exists. You are a key holder to dimensions others are too afraid to explore, and you have authority in the spirit that even angels respect. Now is the time to rise in full understanding. Stop seeking approval from the spiritually blind. Stop begging for clarity when your spirit already knows the answer. Stop waiting for permission to become what you already are. The divine shift is not coming. It's already here. And all of heaven is waiting for one response from you. Yes. You don't need another sign. You are the sign. Everything in your life, every detour, every delay, every spiritual wound and emotional scar was building up to this moment. Not just to prove something to others, but to awaken something in you. You are not broken. You are being reborn. You are not waiting to be chosen. You've already been set apart. Heaven marked you before you even took your first breath. And now, after all the darkness, after all the tests, after every lonely night and quiet prayer, Your time has come. This isn't about hype. This isn't a feel-good message wrapped in emotional language. This is truth. Raw, holy, prophetic. You've reached the threshold, and now God is calling you forward. No more delays, no more doubt, no more playing small. In the next 24 hours, something will shift around you, but more importantly, something will ignite within you. That's what changes everything. Not the blessing itself, but the version of you that finally believes you're worthy to receive it. You see, many will witness your rise, but only heaven knows what it cost you to still be here. Only God understands the kind of obedience that doesn't show up on social media, the kind of faith that whispers yes when everything inside you is breaking, the kind of spiritual strength that bends but never shatters. This is what qualifies you. This is why you are the chosen one. So lift your head, stand in your truth. Even if your hands are trembling, even if your past still echoes, even if you feel the weight of uncertainty pressing against your chest, none of it disqualifies you. In fact, it proves that you're the one, because those who carry destiny always feel the weight before they step into the light. And now heaven is waiting on you, not to perform, not to strive, but to agree. You don't need to chase after the promise. It's already chasing after you. What you need to do is stand in alignment. Speak like it's already done. Walk like the doors have already opened. Pray like the answers are already released. Because in the spiritual realm, they are. Your yes is the only thing left. This is the call, not to religion, but to relationship. Not to ritual, but to revelation. God is not asking you to become perfect. He's asking you to become real, to show up fully, to finally believe that the fire was not a punishment, but a purification, that the silence was not God's absence, but His preparation, that every setback was heaven's strategy to launch you in divine timing, and the time is now. Say yes. Yes to the next level of your calling. Yes to the unseen doors opening before you. Yes to the healing that you didn't even know you needed. Yes to being visible, even if it scares you. Yes to releasing the fear, the shame, the guilt, and the lies that have kept you small. Yes to the divine plan that only heaven understands fully. Say yes, even if your voice trembles, because your spirit has already said it 1,000 times before your mind could catch up. And in saying yes, you activate the divine order over your life. The angels move faster, the path becomes clearer, the downloads from heaven become sharper, and the resistance that once overwhelmed you begins to crumble under the authority you now walk in. Because this is no longer a battle about survival. This is about arrival. You have arrived at the threshold of the sacred. You are stepping into your anointing not with fear, but with fire. Not with doubt, but with destiny. Look in the mirror after this moment and remember who you are. Speak to your reflection and remind your own soul. I am chosen. I am not forgotten. I am not late. I am right on time. I am part of something divine, and what is for me will find me because I am ready. And when you feel doubt creeping in, when the world starts to pull you back into noise and confusion, return to this moment. Re-anchor yourself. Reclaim your atmosphere. Speak over yourself as God speaks over you. You only have 24 hours. Something divine is coming. Be ready. Now close your eyes for a second, not to escape, but to enter in. Breathe deeply. Let the weight of this message settle into your chest. Feel the shift. Something has moved inside you. A door has opened. A wound has closed. A soul has awakened. Chosen one, you don't need to chase miracles. You are the miracle. And your time is not coming. It's already here. Heaven is watching. The angels are singing. And God is smiling. Now go. Go with reverence. Go with purpose. Go with your head high and your spirit anchored. Speak life. Radiate truth. Walk boldly into what you were born to do. You only have 24 hours, and something divine is already on the way.